Welcome, marketing chefs. I've got something truly special cooking in the Omni-Channel oven today. Traces by Steve Perry. Up next in the Marketing Kitchen. Welcome to the kitchen, the Marketing Kitchen. Hi, I'm Ron Vining, your host of MarketingKitchenTV. This is my very first music review on MarketingKitchenTV, and it certainly won't be the last, because if you know me, you know that I love music. And if you've not been to my companion channel, VINING TV, you should check it out. I used to be a singer in a rock band, and I also was a music manager, music producer, and promoter. I absolutely love music, especially rock and metal. But one of my all-time favorite bands is Journey, and especially Journey's former lead singer, and that's the CD that I'm going to talk about today, and that is Steve Perry. And the album is right here. The album is called Traces, and this came out in October of 2018. So I really am late in reviewing this, but better late than never, right? That's what they say anyhow. This is Steve Perry's first album since Steve Perry's Greatest Hits Plus 5 Unreleased, which came out, back at around 1996 or so. And Traces, there's two different versions of the album. I happened to buy, of course, because I absolutely love Steve Perry, I bought the bonus track edition. And I highly recommend that you buy this. You can download it, so it's available for streaming. You can buy it on vinyl, or of course, the only way to get the bonus tracks at the time that the album came out in October was to purchase the CD from steveperrymusic.com. And here's the link right here. And I highly encourage you to do that. Not getting anything back from that other than sharing the joy of some of the best music on the planet with you. So what do I think about Steve Perry's return after such a long time from the scene? Wow, tremendous. While Steve Perry, who is getting older, and aren't we all, he's 70 years old. And if you watch one of his latest videos, which you can check out here, you wouldn't know it. Steve Perry looks great, and even better for music lovers, he sounds amazing. Is he hitting the high notes the same way he did before? Do I bench press as much as I used to? Can I climb a mountain like I used to? Absolutely not. And me being a former singer, can I sing like I used to? No, not at all. So Steve Perry sounds absolutely fantastic still. And I highly recommend this record. I give this a 10 out of 10, and I strongly encourage you, if you like Journey, or if you like Steve Perry's solo music, or anything related to that, bands like Bad English, or Foreigner, or Toto, or Air Supply, geez, so many bands in that genre. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you pick this album up. All right, what are some of the highlights on this? The whole record? I encourage you to go to Steve Perry's YouTube channel, which you can find right here. And Steve has done videos of the album, and you can watch them here. And I encourage you to do so to get samples. But then don't be a cheapskate. Go out and support this artist and buy his record. Why? Let him know how much you love it. Do it in the comments on YouTube, send out something on Instagram or on Twitter or on Facebook, and let him know that you enjoy his comeback and that you'd like to see him write and record new material. I know that Steve has more material than just the tracks that can be found on this album, because he's been talking about writing songs for almost 2 decades now, and this is certainly not 2 decades worth of music. So Steve, if you're watching, and I'd be honored if you are, I highly encourage you, I implore you, I beg you, please don't let Traces be the last time we hear from you. I would really love to hear more music from you than this, because this was a masterpiece. And in fact, I had on Instagram said that if it were possible to wear out MP3s, I would have done so already, because my iPhone on iTunes must be thinking, could this guy listen to something else? Because that's been primarily what I've listened to ever since October of 2018. So really, Traces is just such a treat, and I encourage every music lover out there to pick Traces up and pick it up today if you haven't done so already. Now, as far as Steve Perry's return, I'd love to see Steve Perry go on a limited tour. And heck, I'd love to promote, I'd love to produce, I'd love to package that. And you know who I'd like to see him go out on the road with? Obviously he can go solo if he wants to. He could certainly package himself with somebody like Dennis DeYoung from Styx, or REO Speedwagon's lead singer. There's so many ways that he could go about this. But I think one of the most enjoyable things for fans, and I'm not expecting there to be a Journey reunion, so that's not what I'm talking about right here. But what I would love to see is Neal Schon, the guitarist and founder of the band Journey, is currently doing sort of a solo side project tour, if you will, with former Journey founder Gregg Rolie, who plays the keyboard and the organ, as well as former Bad English member Deen Castronovo, who's on vocals and drums, and Marco Mendoza from SirkUS, who is on bass. And that quartet is phenomenal. And if you've not seen Neal Schon's Journey Through Time, you can access the link here. You can watch those videos on YouTube also. I encourage you to do so right away. But imagine if Steve Perry were to team up with Neal Schon's Journey Through Time and do a limited, perhaps casino tour. It would be music to the ears of fans around the globe. And it would be easy lifting for everybody involved because of drummer Deen Castronovo. Deen Castronovo not only is he one of the most amazing drummers, from Ozzy Osbourne to Bad English to Hardline to Journey itself, as well as his solo work and Revolution Saints. Not only is he an amazing drummer, but he's an amazing singer. And he was a fantastic backup singer when he was with Journey and with SirkUS, but he's now out taking the lead, singing amazingly. Perhaps he is the best in terms of inflection, tonality, nuance, phrasing of anyone on the planet to duplicate or replicate the sound of Steve Perry. So imagine if Steve Perry, who again, as I mentioned, is getting older, and I don't expect him to go out and belt out the Journey catalog 5 nights a week like he used to. So if he were to if he were to team up with, on a limited engagement, Neal Schon's Journey Through Time, not only could we hear some of the classic tunes with Steve Perry and Gregg Rolie singing duets together, but we could also have the powerful backup vocals of Deen Castronovo to assist Steve Perry on singing the Journey catalog. Not that he needs it, but it's great to have live backup like that. And Steve wouldn't have to sing the entire catalog. He could trade off sets with Deen Castronovo, as well as being able to hear legendary songs from Steve's solo career, Neal's solo career, Gregg Rolie's solo. That would be the concert. I'd actually prefer to see that than an actual Journey reunion. So that would be great. And I'm not saying any disrespect to the other members of Journey, like Steve Smith or Ross Valerie or Jonathan Cain, who's off doing his own solo projects, a lot of them being Christian-based, and that music is fantastic and uplifting to the spirit. So I wish everybody in the band well. I just would really, truly love to see a reunion of sorts of this talent, because it's not going to be here forever, whereas the recorded medium can be around forever. And that experience of being able to see that live would be memories that could last forever. And imagine if they filmed a Blu-ray, and it'd just be fabulous. I truly implore the powers to be out there, the rock gods, to make this happen. And guys, if you need any help with this, I've already worked with Soul Circus, I've worked with Journey, I've worked with a number of artists in that sphere before. So if you ever need my help, I'm here in Singapore. I also have an office in Boston, so I will drop everything to make this happen. Just give me a call. Big Journey fan, big Steve Perry fan, welcome back. This review was long overdue. If you haven't done so already, make sure you pick up Traces by Steve Perry. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, there's always fresh content simmering on our storytelling stovetop. So whatever happens in this kitchen shouldn't stay in this marketing kitchen. I'm Ron Vining, your host, reminding you to invite your family and friends to the next episode of Marketing Kitchen TV.